and that's stuff that grows on you, stuff that lasts forever. So that's what I'll be thinking about whenever I like get kind of scared of posting something or putting something out there.
Kind of makes you think of that. Not necessarily always what you do, how you make them feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's
But
art.
also, isn't that like kind of like new age art though? Because like, do you think like painters like Pablo Picasso and like people in the olden days before social media like were painting thinking like people are gonna like this, or like I wonder if someone's gonna like this, or do you think that it was back then it was more so just like this is what I want to be doing? You know what I mean?
I feel like
So like now it's like we have like the idea of like Instagram. It's like this got this many likes and things like that. So like we have that in the back of our head, like, oh, are people gonna respond to this? You know what I mean? But I feel like, is that like kind of a new age mindset more than anything?
I think so because from a business standpoint, I think new age we see business opportunities, money opportunities way more than they did back then.
Mm-hmm.
So with us, it's all like, dang, like I could make a killing off of this stuff if they liking it.
Right.
With them, it's all like, shoot, it's a different environment. Like
Right.
they was just like, shoot, I'm just gonna make this. You know what I mean? Cool. Because a lot of artists is like, even like from the '90s and stuff. Um, a lot of them got ripped off
Right.
from their artwork. Like other people making money off their artwork, or people copy them and stuff like that. Even artists from back then, like they were copied,
Right.
mimicked, and then like other people grew off of them.
Mhm.
So with us, it's all like we know the fact of, okay, this could grow. I'm not gonna let nobody copy off of me. I'm gonna
Mhm.
make sure I keep myself tight. So it
Yeah.
is definitely a new age thing, but like there's
You
like
think
a
it
reason
comes from like the money standpoint?
Yeah,
That's true.
It has to, man.
Fair.
Before we go forward, though, I want to introduce. If you don't know him,
Now you know.
you will. Nah, you'll know him. You'll love him. Tyreq Miles, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure having you. I love your art. I've seen you grow from when you started to now, and I knew I had to have you. I was like, this man, because it's just the effort too. Seeing that you can, because you see a lot of people who start and like post their stuff, but you've been consistent with it and genuinely post. And still continually working on your stuff. I know I've seen like you've gone from just starting to paint and now you're doing classes and stuff too, so that's pretty awesome.
Pretty dope, man.
Come a long way.
So welcome back, guys, to Fine and Dandy. This is another episode with another fine guest, and we welcome you all back to follow us on all of our shit, but also, Tyreek, call out your Twitter so these guys can find your art.
Oh, go ahead, follow me on Twitter at Blacasso _ BLACASSO _
Yes, sir.
I will study
Definitely gonna want to go check his art out. He's definitely got his own style, and you guys
And they're
wanna,
like, wait, what was it? Trying to, like, hold on a minute.
but fuck yeah, wanted to get that out of the way so these guys can get to know you.
Yeah, they gotta go check out his art. It's awesome. He's definitely growing as a general. Man, so I wanted to ask, like, going from just starting. So, like, what got you started originally, I guess, would be the first question. If I'm going to backdoor, going from just starting not too long ago to now doing classes. Like, what was it like?
Okay. So I gotta tell you how I started, man. Y'all not gonna believe it. I love telling the story because people they just don't understand. Like, so up one night on the phone with one of my homeboys, and we was just looking at like stuff to cop like for summertime.
Okay.
I ended up falling on PacSun, and they had Space Jam jerseys for sale.
Okay.
You feel me? So I had got me one of the Monstar ones and one of the Looney Tune ones.
Okay.
And so I was all like, I had some old Air Maxes. I could really like customize them to match my Monstar ones because I have some Air Maxes that go with my Looney Tune ones. You feel me? So I look up like what I could do to paint on shoes. Cause like, I'm bored. Like we're in quarantine at this point. And so like nothing's going on.
It was like I have literally nothing better to do.
Exactly.
Let me go see how I can like customize these fits.
Exactly.
Hell
so
yeah.
so that was it. And I was actually like before then, like I started like bleaching my clothes and stuff, like so like really opening up my creativity just a little bit more. And so I customized the shoes to match with the jersey. And so when I was painting, I was like, it was cool kind of painting this. I'm gonna get me a canvas so I could work on like painting so I could get a little bit more detail with the shoes and everything so I can mess up the shoes more, Man, I must have painted my first canvas. I was like, it's nice. It's actually the first painting I put up, the Lost King and stuff.
Okay.
And so that was the first image I had in my head, and I wanted to paint and stuff. I was like, it's pretty cool. And like people I showed was like, oh, that's hard. Like I mess with it, and like stuff like that. So, oh, for real, like And then from then, like I painted another one the same day. The one that's like breaking free. You got the sun in the background, the fists and the chains and stuff. And then I just kind of just kept rolling, just kept going, kept putting my own into it. I told myself in like July, I was like, by December I want to start selling them. I think I didn't even make it out of July before I started selling.
Oh shit!
And so
Hell yeah.
basically I want to say from October to now, about 85% of the paintings I have released have been like pre-purchased paintings. Like those were basically like admission paintings I was doing. So like y'all seen me just release the paintings and like or like doing like time lapses and all this other stuff of them. It's because like people were paying me for that painting. I'm just putting a show out there. Like,
This is what I've done for this person.
Exactly,
type shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Although like I'm not adding them just yet, or I'm just not putting out there just yet. I'm just slow build of that. Okay, I want y'all to mess with my art, and then probably like this month is really when y'all gonna see a change in my content. And I'm posting like the Picasso Museum. I don't know if y'all saw that on Twitter and like Instagram, but like when I was tweeting about Picasso Museum, I want y'all to know that okay, like now I hit a level to where I'm finna level out, table everything, because I'm finna come back 10 times harder.
Okay.
I want y'all to know where I was at, really appreciate and love where I was at.
It's like a summarizing like the level that you were on, because you want them to like understand that you're about to explode way past that.
Exactly. That's it. That is it. And like going to like the whole me doing classes thing, I promise you, like that just fell on me. So the beginning of this year, the very first day, I ended up going to a vendor's event with my art. And so my roommate actually told me about it. He has his own clothing brand. His name's Severe. His name is Fonzo though, but his clothing brand is Severe. Go ahead, follow Severe Merch on Twitter, Instagram, SEVR Merch. So y'all know how to spell Severe. He has stuff coming out for winter, spring, fall, every single summer, every single season.
Every single summer.
Every summer.
Every summer he's gonna be dropping too, yeah. But so he was like, let's go to this vendor's event together. Like, all right, bet. So I texted people about the vendor's event and how my artists and stuff's like, oh, great, you're just in time, because we want to do like sip and paint art classes, painting classes with the artists. I was like, all right, bet, I'm your guy. So I went to the event. I showed them my art. They're like, oh, we love this, like, And from there, it was all like, we want to book you for doing painting classes. Like, all right, bet. So that's really how I fell in the painting classes. Like, they just liked how my art looked and said, hey, I want you to host classes. I bet. So from there, I've just been hosting classes, and like
that's pretty dope.
Hosting classes, like teaching it back, has enabling me to get a little bit better too.
Yeah.
Because like once you teach something back, you start picking up on different things too.
Right. It's kind of like it's like a basketball coach, like kind of like teaching the game and also understanding like, oh shit, I just learned something.
Exactly.
You just taught me something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, man, it's amazing, man.
So like going into the classes though, like were you nervous a little bit the first? Because you being self-taught and kind of like learning as you go, were you a little kind of like learn from you? You know?
Still now, like I'm
not just the first time.
I feel like I'm a fraud. You know what I mean? Like I haven't even been doing this a full year yet.
He's like, all of you guys paid me for this. Yeah, oh man, this is interesting.
You feel me? So like, let me give you the best experience. And from there, it's all like a lot of times when people do those paint and sip classes, although they do come to learn how to paint, for the most part, most of the time I'm kind of just doing stencils, like where I draw it out and they just kind of paint inside and like have fun and enjoy like that, because it's more like a sip and paint, like, Right. So from there, I'm kind of just giving my personality. I'm more putting on a show more than anything, So I'm teaching them little, like I tell them just how to hold the brush, what to hold, how to mix some colors here and there. But besides that, like I'm cracking jokes with them,
It's not just like a class, but it's also like a performance.
Exactly.
That's pretty dope.
And so that's what really makes them like love it and just enjoy their evening, their night. And a lot of times they're in their group anyways, like, I mean, who really wants to go to class and just sit there and learn, just be bored and have the instructor do all that stuff? Like,
yes, sir.
You gotta make it interesting.
Everybody stay with me. No, it's all like, cause with the class, I know, so you have people that know how to paint, are quick with it, people who don't know how to paint, who aren't quick with it, people who like just like in it And like those who like really into the painting, I kind of just leave along and just check them out here and there throughout the night, like, you know, because I could tell they're in the zone.
Right.
But those is just like more having fun or joking around, doing all that stuff. Those are the ones I kind of cater to, you know, throughout the night to make sure they stay painting, make sure they stay having fun, so they'll just lose themselves throughout the whole class, you know.
Right.
And so like from doing these classes, it's been more like fun. Like painting got a little bit more fun.
That's good.
A little bit more stressful too, cause like the preparation for the class, but it got a little bit more fun. I'm practicing on actual like speaking in front of people about art, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been okay with public speaking, doing everything else, but you know, the whole art thing is just all like, ooh, this is new to me too. Like, I don't know.
It's like I'm still learning a bunch of this stuff too.
Still learning right now. Y'all learning with me, but they
Hell
don't know
yeah.
that though. Like I'll be BS feel like, oh yeah, I've been painting all my life. Like I've been doing this.
That's
stuff,
funny
you
as
know?
fuck.
You make it. You know, they believe it though, 'cause you're in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of killing it though. It looks good. I mean, that's all they want. You know
That's
what I mean?
it. That's
So
it.
how did that initial response feel whenever you like started putting art out? 'Cause you said like you started in July and you expected to start selling around December, but then like by the end of July you were already selling 'cause you already had such a great response. Like how did that make you feel?
So I still feel this way. I feel like I'm just hyped. Like, you know, sometimes, like, you know, so like, are they really messing with it, or are they just hyping me up? Like, 'cause
Yeah,
this is
I
what's
feel
cool,
you.
'cause like, you know, 'cause I've been putting it on so long, like it's starting to become something cool, like, you know.
Right.
So, but then I just look back at it, it's like, actually, that was a nice little piece there. I could see how they, like, you know, how they mess with that and like why they mess with it, 'cause you know, a lot of times I literally just have to step away from my pieces for a long time, and then come back and look at them. I'm like, yo, I did that. Like,
That's
okay,
solid.
I'm not being hyped up, you know. So it's like a surreal, weird feeling, like, you know,
Yeah,
'cause
like
it happened so quick, like, you know.
right. And it not like 'cause I noticed you said like it makes you feel like a fraud, and it's like it's not like you're not talented. It's just like why is this like happening like this? What the fuck? Like I'm
Yeah.
not that guy. Like chill, but
Exactly.
you actually are that guy to them.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
And it's hard to I had to like switch my perspective of how I see myself to how other people see me, you know.
Right.
And that's been the toughest thing. But I think after my first year is up, you know, my rookie year is up. I don't even know if I'm in my rookie year yet, 'cause you know I'm still like an amateur. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I
So
haven't
like,
even
when
really
does it?
grown
When do
yet.
you like decide that factor? Like, when do you make that
He
decision?
said, I don't know if I've been drafted yet, but I'm ready to
Yeah.
play. I'm
I
ready to
don't
start,
know.
coach.
You know, I've just been out here, and then I do know the lady who I do host the classes for. She told me how she was talking to like the dude for the African American Art Museum in Houston.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, whoa, like you're putting my name in those rooms, like, you know, like
He
I'm.
said even the nomination is an honor type shit.
It's good enough. This getting on people's radars like that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and being at all these different art shows, you know, being invited out, you know, being invited out to Galveston, one of the very first art stroll for Galveston, you know,
Oh,
that was
nice.
a very big thing, and that helped me grow too. From there to getting my thing in different stores and coffee shops. Like my very first one was Day 6 Coffee. I got it in there because one of my friends, he has a radio station, like he was doing a clothing drive, you know, so I donated that day. It's like, oh, he likes art. He does art. So I talked to him. It's like, oh yeah, I got art. It's like, yeah, so that you can put some of your stuff in there today, tomorrow. And like it's only 20 minutes up the road from my house. So I said, I can really go back to my crib
I'll be right back.
and bring him. And that's exactly what I did too. And it was just so nice from there. And then from there, I put in Hub 8 down in Pearland where I have the classes at. And
Okay.
now I got some down in Soul to Soul down in Galveston, you know.
Okay.
And then it's really taking a life of its own. And from after doing the little art stroll walk thing in Galveston, that's when I hopped on my very first podcast, like, you know.
Right.
And then now I'm hopping on y'all. It's like, you know, I'm doing podcast interviews about this stuff.
Right.
Like, you know, it's all like,
Like all coming together.
It's all like real now type
Yeah.
shit.
I can see where you're coming from earlier though. It's like you starting off, you're like, I just started, but it's like you're like, am I a fraud? Because these people want it, but in a sense, isn't that what makes it real anyways? It's like, but at first you're like, is this real? Like I'm just doing shit and shit's happening. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know. But
See, because
now it's all like, damn, shit is happening. Like we're
Yeah.
here.
because it's
man.
like you're living your everyday life, going through like everyday bullshit, and not realizing like, oh shit, they see me as somebody that they're willing willing to pay to go do an art piece. It's like
exactly.
that's big. That's huge because it's like people like value their money, and it's like whenever you say like, hey, this is like 20, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours of my time. Would you pay me for it? And they say yes. It's like, oh shit.
Like, come on now.
I had fun doing that. I'll do that. I'll keep doing that if I can keep getting paid for it.
Exactly.
That's pretty dope.
And that's what's really been holding me over into doing all this, because I keep on getting paid for it, like over and over again. That's what's really been funding the art, because like I kind of don't use my job money to fund the art no more. I kind of just use the art money to fund the art now.
Now you get to use your job money to fund your funds in your life and your everyday shit. Yeah.
Job money just goes straight for bills. Like art money has been art and fun at this point.
And
like,
fun.
You know?
Okay, so you're thriving.
Exactly. Now I'm like, doing something sustainable, and it's only getting started too.
Right.
Like,
it's definitely like beautiful to watch that like incline.
Yeah.
So like June last year was when you started, right?
Well, May 30th was my very first painting. You know, so basically June.
Yeah, around June. So like you started just sometime last year. Like beforehand, were you like going to school, or did you already have a job? Like what were you doing right before that point?
Right before that point. Okay, so I just graduated from Alcorn. And so prior to COVID, I had 2 accounting firms downtown I was gonna work for. COVID hit. A couple weeks went by. Each one about closed down. So it was just all like, damn, what I'm gonna do now? Basically like my sister was working down for this Lago Mar down Texas City.
Okay.
Inside the information, she was like inside the info center. She was finna leave. She was like, hey, you're not working right now. I'm gonna leave this job. Do you want this job? And I was all like, hell yeah.
I don't have a job,
exactly.
so
yes,
I would love it.
Works out, like, and that job ended up paying me more than both of the accounting firms I was going to work for was going to pay me.
Oh,
I was like, I really just fell on a blessing. Like, I was like, okay, bet. And so everything's still going on. No one's still doing nothing. I got blessed with a job. I'm working, and it's all like, dang, it's all like, I made it. What now? Like, what am I going to do with life now? And that's when got to the board, to the paint and everything. And like, plus I still work for another like startup company. It's like I work on the accounting side. I'm the financial analysis, and I like do like the first year build outs for projections for businesses whenever they're doing their startups. And I also make pitch decks too. So I've been doing that since I was in college. Like I was an intern. Now they finally take me on full time. I'm start doing their sales and a whole bunch of more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because like my contract is up for the one down in Lago Mar April 30th. So it's like, I bet. Let me make some more money. Let me keep this big boy money rolling. You feel me? Because like once you got a little taste of that big boy money, it's like you feel like this is really kid money. Like, you know what I mean? So it's all like that's really I kind of went a whole different route from what you originally asked, but.
It's all good. I feel he's like I'm out here just working.
That's good though, because it's like no matter what you're doing, you're like you have your priorities straight. Like you got your accounting shit going. If you have a contract coming up, you're looking at your options. But also on the other end, you're still working as an artist and you're still doing these classes. You have your priorities set, so that's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you ever expect though, like, because accounting is completely different. And like if you were to put like art and accounting or like money finances together, I feel they should go hand in hand if you want, especially this day and age. But I feel like those are on like two opposite ends. You know what I mean?
Personality wise,
So did you ever see yourself like diving into the art, or literally was just like, did you ever think about it before?
Nah. So it's crazy because like I used to tell people I have no kind of artistic ability at all. Like, and I just was telling the truth. I just knew I was telling the truth.
From your perspective.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to do none of this art stuff. Don't ask me to paint and stuff like that. I mean, like when I was younger, I used to doodle and draw. But like all kids used to doodle and draw.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But like for like this deeply into this stuff, because I'm such business minded. Like that accounting, that finance, that like business play moves. Like the creativity with my moves doesn't equal to an artist creativity. But now I didn't tap into my artist realm, and now I got artist creativity, and I'm just putting both of them together, and so it's like I'm perfectly balanced at this point. Like
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. I'm a Libra though, so balance is everything.
That is the scales. I just thought about that.
It
is the scales.
I got accounting, business, creative art. Like, you feel me? Just,
I'm balancing it out.
come on.
That is an odd thing to balance, though.
But
Yeah.
creativity and
In
accounting.
Accounting.
Yeah, it is an interesting one.
Yes.
So do you think like
But
doing
yeah, I
art?
painted that, but I'll also do your taxes.
Right? That's what
Come
I'm
on now, it's
saying.
to check people out. Like,
We're
what?
like-
Both?
The one-stop shop here, baby.
Come on now, come on.
Do you think doing the art brought out a piece, like your personality? Though, like you are who you are, of course, but like, do you think it tapped into a piece of who you were you didn't see before? Like just being in that moment, like.
Definitely, man, definitely, cause it enabled me to tap into a place where I would go whenever I run, you know, cause I'm not running no more. I'm done with track for right now. I got 1 year left of eligibility due to COVID. You feel me? But like, I'm not running. I'm not working out like that. So that piece and that place where I would go to whenever I would run or I would work out, it didn't exist. So I was kind of, you know, you know, and like not really growing as a person. Started painting, you know. I'll paint, I go to a different place, and I actually think I actually grow more, and I'm actually comfortable more with just being me as me. You feel me? So I think art definitely did bring out like a whole new side of myself, like, you know.
That's interesting because it's like for your entire track career, like all you've known how to do is like run and like stay in motion and do like things of that nature. And then whenever you started painting, he's like forced you to sit in one place and just be with yourself and say, this is what I'm going to do for the next 30 to 45 or however long I'm here. This is what I'm doing. This is the task at hand. And I'm just going to sit right here and do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like almost like a meditation in a way.
It is, man. It is.
The moment,
Yeah.
Austin, what you're doing, that's pretty. It's like sitting there. You almost it's trading one motion for another. If you think
Yeah.
still flowing in a way, like when
Right.
you're running, you're flowing. It's just like your mind just goes like you're not worried about anything in that moment. You're worried about your breath,
Yeah.
about just wherever you're going. I think it's the same thing,
Yeah.
probably.
That's
Breath
true.
and wherever it's all like, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it's all like, you have a goal in mind when you're painting and when I'm running, you know, where I
Mhm.
want to go with it, you know, and although like, even if I have taken this route with running, or if I'm doing a painting I've done before, which I haven't done one yet, but like, you know, or similar painting, even though I know all the steps, every time it's different. Every time it's a new challenge. Every time it's something that I can't get right, or something that grows me as a person, like, you know. And that's what this whole like painting journey has been too. Like, in my mind, I know what I want on this date and that date, you know. But for everything in between and how I get there, it's just like, whoa, like, you know, like, I didn't say I want classes, I want to be in the store. I mean, I did tweet and say like, oh yeah, I want to be in stores, because like somebody was talking to me about the night before at the art show, and then the very next day I ended up being in the store, you know, just off of art. But like, for the most part, like, my thing was just, I wanted just to paint. Well, really it was customized shoes, but it's more just, I just want to do paint customs, and like do that. And now it's turned to like a whole different life of
A
its
whole
own.
different like realm of like
Yeah.
your life type shit. Like a door opened up to a whole different path.
Exactly. And now, I mean,
Crazy.
like, once the podcast and everything takes off with y'all gonna see, it's all like, people gonna have y'all at like different events, trying to be like MCs places, like, you know what I mean? And just like, y'all may be like at a big vendor shoe event, and then y'all have y'all podcast like set up, and y'all interviewing the different shoe people, like, you know, throughout
Right.
the event. Or y'all may be at like an event for like clothing, like, you know, you're interviewing the different clothing people,
Absolutely,
or like
dude.
different artists, like rappers, singers, and all that. And like, y'all are there, y'all are being paid to be there to interview these people, like, just to add to the life and stuff, like, you know. It's all like, whenever that just happens, all like, yo, how did we
How we
did
get
we get
here?
here? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You just gotta
like,
trust the process,
exactly,
man.
man.
Like,
But like it's still surreal because you're like, how did I get here?
yeah.
Like,
How did
how am I here right now with y'all?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
real
like,
shit.
I do.
It's been a while since I've seen Josh. Like,
Bro, I
I think,
haven't seen you in a while. It's been a minute. I don't even remember the last time I've seen you. I
I
think it was
don't.
maybe even high school. Like, it's
It-
been a long
it's been
time.
a while. Like, I want to say maybe like the summer after I graduated,
Maybe
summer
so.
16, because
Yeah.
summer 16 was wild, man.
Summer 16
It
was
was-
kind of crazy.
was
I do remember.
wild,
I do
bruh.
remember that.
I
I still remember fucking back in high school, just like how much of a clown you were in fucking
Yeah.
basketball practice and shit like that.
Like clowning the whole time, did not give a fuck at all. So
that
like,
shit was funny.
why was I even playing basketball? Looking back at it, like, I'm a D1 track star at this point. Like, what was I
Why
doing
am I
wasting my
even-
time on
He
the
said
court?
fucking go fucking tear my ACL type shit, fucking playing some basketball.
Can't
I
run
shouldn't
ever
even be-
again?
Shouldn't even be doing
Shouldn't
type
even
shit.
doing it. But I didn't even know I could really run like that either. I didn't find out I could run for real until high school. Like, whenever
Yeah.
like I stopped playing football, I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do in the meantime? My sister's like, come run cross country with me. Like, alright, shit, bet. So I'm running cross country and playing basketball. I'm running cross country just to stay in shape for basketball. You know what I mean? And then shit, track took off a whole new life for itself. Like,
Yeah.
like everything that I've done, like I just stumbled across and it took off. Like I went to school to be an engineer. Very first semester that like the work I could still do the engineer work math wise, but I'm like, man, I'm not fucking with this shit. Like it's starting to get harder. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Because like mentally I don't want to learn it, and like if you don't want to learn something, you're not going to.
Right.
But if you want to learn it, no matter how you're being taught, you're gonna pick it up.
You have to
And
want
so-
to you have to want to be taught to actually learn anything.
Exactly.
There's that mental block of like, fuck this, I'm here to be here, I'm not here to learn, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like I feel like that's a horrible thing that's like kind of entrained on us, and it's almost like through the repetition of like the schooling systems. Like
Yeah.
we go through the same shit every year. We read Romeo and Juliet every year, and we're like, all right, you guys got anything else for us, or are we just gonna like be dumb for the rest of our lives? And then we're forced to be adults and act like we were educated. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
We were bullshitted the whole time, and now y'all want us to act like we're grown. Like
you know what I mean? But like, and then it's like with how expensive college is, it's like you make it a system of like you got to pay to play type shit, and if you don't have the money, then we don't got like there's only a certain amount of federal aid and stuff like that people can get to actually get a fair education.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes like, if you don't learn on your own, you're fucking stranded on an island.
Exactly, man. Like that institutional learning system really is really crazy, man.
It's
Because like,
crazy to watch.
and they just teach you the same thing over and over again because they just want you to be an employee and more closed-minded. And like, if you don't break within that, all right, you're just gonna be out there on your own. And if you got it, you got it. You don't, you don't. And like with the school thing, like it's a scam in the sense, It depends on what school you go to and why, You got to know what you're doing and why you're there, so it's not going to be a scam. With me, it was all like I wasn't going to go to college unless like my stuff was paid for,
Right.
And I was blessed by the Lord. And that's all I
Right.
can say, like, But yeah, it's just like being there at that school and in that college's institutional learning environment, it opened up so much for me life-wise opposed to classroom. Yeah, in the classroom, learn some stuff, but like life-wise, experience-wise, like I learned so much that the education, the money, I didn't put no money in, but the money that I would think I would put into that, like it would have really been worth it,
Right.
looking back on it.
Because of all the time that you took to get there too.
Yeah.
That experience definitely, I think more than anything, the experience, depending on how you use it, definitely means like that in itself is worth it.
Mhm.
Like worth the money paid. But that's pretty dope though. Like you had to go through all that, and like you just stumbled across it.
Mhm.
It's like it's a weird thing 'cause I say that all the time, but I feel like people don't get it. I think it's just more like when you do the things you want to do, like not that you're forced to do. It almost feels like you stumbled upon it 'cause you're just like, I want to do this, and that led you to another thing. And then you're like, I like that, and you end up doing it. And it's like, I just fell onto it, but it's like, did you, or did you kind of just make the decisions you felt were best for you?
Yeah, like take that leap of faith
Faith.
and like just walk out there. Like, did you really stumble across it, or did you know what you was doing the whole time?
Exactly.
That's fair.
It's a weird question. It just made me think 'cause I like that. I feel like I say it a lot. Like, I don't know, it just happened. And then people are like, that shit just doesn't just happen. I'm like, I mean, it does kind of just happen.
Yeah, like okay, like it's like the best way to explain it is like whenever you're at a party, okay, kind of drunk, you know what I mean, or you're just feeling the vibes, It's been a little shorty even checking out the whole night, Maybe she been checking you out. You feel me? Like you just get to a point where y'all bumping, and at this point y'all talking to each other, And then like you end up really messing with this shorty, cool as hell, like you know what I mean. And you're all like, you're telling people how y'all met, and you're like, oh, it just kind of just happened, like we was at a party. The whole time, like you was looking at her the whole night, like
Yeah.
You
like, you know
didn't
what I mean?
stumble across
You know
that
what I
conversation.
mean?
You were waiting for the perfect time. It's like, oh, her friends just went to the restroom. Okay,
Come on.
this is my fucking chance.
Come
All right,
on, attack.
hey, don't be a
Get it.
bitch. Go over there.
Hype yourself up. Come on now, like you know what I mean?
Real
So,
shit. No, that's a fair point.
yeah.
It's kind of like the story of how you and Los got into Float Fest.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll tell this. It's
gotta
just
tell
funny.
us.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
funny.
tell it.
All right. Look. So essentially we're walking. He got him free both days, but this particular day was funny because we're like, it's the second day. The friends who helped us sneak in the first day, they went home because they only had a 1-day pass. So we're second day. We're walking the campgrounds. We're like, oh man, how the fuck are we gonna get you in here? Because he's like, all else fails, I'll just walk around the campgrounds while you're in there. I was like, oh man. So we're
That's gonna
walking.
suck type shit.
This dude's just walking by. He's like, shrooms for sale. He's yelling this, shrooms for sale. And then Lush is like, nah, we're good, man. But, I mean, do you have an extra ticket? He's like, yeah, actually I do.
What?
It's like, wait, what?
Like, we were like, for real? And he's like, yeah, come on. Like, we go back to, like, their little camp spot. And he's talking to his friends. Like, his friend's basically like, yeah, we bought an extra ticket for our friend. He couldn't make it. Like, how much do you have? He's like, I don't have anything to spend on that. Like, I'm sorry, I really don't. He's like, nothing. He's like, yeah, I don't have any extra cash. He's like, you know what? I don't want this to go to waste. Just gives it to him. And he's like, hey, y'all come back for hot dogs later. We're going to be cooking, like, some grilling later. Like, all right, hell yeah.
Y'all go back for the hot dogs later?
No.
No, you're kind of fucked up.
We didn't, but it was a wholesome moment, you know. It's like I felt like was stumbling across some
But see,
shit.
like, even that is like you were telling
tell
yourself
yourself,
the entire time,
you gotta
I
find
have to find a
tickets.
ticket.
You
I
have
have to
to.
find a ticket. We are
Come
gonna
on.
find a ticket today, and if we don't find a ticket, we're fucked.
Come on now.
And then the first guy you talk to, he's like, hey, I got shrooms, and if you don't want those, I have what you're looking for.
Like, what is the chance?
And if you don't have money, you can just have it.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, that never
And
happened.
you know what? Come back later for some hot dogs.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what? Shout out to that guy,
Yeah.
Like,
wherever
there is
you are.
no way. That is.
That is
Nah, but
crazy, man. The friend is.
That's funny. It's like
Yeah.
you always think you're stumbling upon a moment, but it's like, what did you do to prepare for that moment to happen?
Exactly. Like, what are you putting into it to get
Right.
that out? It's like, you know what you're doing, but it's like, you can't believe it because you're like, wow, that shit happened.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
like,
like that
wait.
manifestation stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you kind of feel like it's not, cause like, although like you was thinking it heavily, you wasn't just like speaking it, like, you know what I mean? At
Right.
this time we're gonna get this at that, like, you know. But I think that's the more the manifestation, like you just thinking about it and y'all just putting out there the energy in there, like we're gonna get this ticket, we gotta
Right.
get a ticket. Shrooms? Am I tripping?
It's just,
like, you know, and exactly how it went, like, you know.
That's funny as fuck though.
Yeah.
So I am curious though, like, is Picasso like a play on to Picasso, or is there another like story behind that?
So
Or is it just like, fuck it, that's just what we're doing?
So it's two. It's both. It's both.
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
One of my homeboys from
Both
school,
of
he
'em.
from St. Louis. Shout out to Steve. Got shout out to Steve every time I say this. He's all like, "You the hood, Picasso, Picasso." And then from there, it's just been Picasso, and it's all like, I look at Picasso and like, you know, when he grew up, when he was young, like they say, he's just an amazing artist. Like he was just too talented and stuff. Then growing, you know, he kind of stole a lot of his styles from people from Africa.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Know that.
exactly. And so it's all like, I gotta bring awareness to everything, what I do, and make sure everything makes sense and holds weight. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So me stealing his name is basically like payback and pushing everything else to like full circle
Reparations,
stuff.
baby. Getting those reparations, taking
Like,
it
come on now,
back.
we're taking everything back, and now it's Picasso now. Like, you know what I mean? This is like what
I
y'all
like
gonna
that.
grow up and tell people like, this is Picasso. We ain't messing. This is who we mess with. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Hell
all
yeah.
like, you know, cause he self-taught, self-mind. Like, you know, he just put what was in his head on the canvas. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, that's why I like doing like time lapses here and there, because like, people really like it, but then people really understand. It's all like, these are visions in my head. This is
Yeah.
something that I just see in my head, or I can just like, you know, take a picture of people and like put it there. But like my art, like just me, like it's just in here. Like, you know, it's there. Like, you know, it's never just like, oh, who do I want to copy today? Like, what artist do I want to draw inspiration from today? Like, nah, it's cut, it's clean, it's raw, it's me. You know?
You're not trying to relate it to any. Like, 'cause I feel you though. A lot of people are like, I kind of like this style. Let me make something similar, or let me kind of go off of this. Good, but if you want it to be good, it's got to be you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could jock someone's style, but it's never gonna be. It's never gonna be you, so it's never gonna hold as much.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like everything done in the dark will find its way to light. Everybody that, like you said, like even in his day, Picasso was probably named as one of like the greats of his time. But like once it come to find out if he was stealing styles from this guy and this guy, it's like, well, was he really one of the greats, or was that guy one of the greats, and he
Yeah.
was just able to distribute it at a higher caliber? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And back to what we was talking about beginning, like, you know, they're liking it, like we pushing out the business because artists was getting stole from back then. Like, you know,
That's true.
it's bigger. That's the realm of art. Like, it's such an interesting, weird game. And that's why you gotta kind of hold your pieces close to you. You gotta make sure people know that, oh, this is me, you know, because if they ever see it again, they're like, that's him.
That's that guy.
Hold up, like, what are you doing? That's not, you feel me? And that's how you
Yeah.
get stuff checked and stuff. Like, you know, with the whole USPA and polo, like, you know what I mean? Back when the
Yeah.
kids were wearing polo, like, wait, that's not the real thing, like, you know?
Hey, bro, if you
There's
don't
two
get
guys
your
on that
ass-
horse.
Come on now. So yeah, so it's just all like you could tell, like, you know, now more than anything too, because like social media, like, you know,
It's ruthless out
it
there.
is, like, you know, and it's like it's so easier to get your stuff out there and see what's out there because the internet is so fast. Everything is now, like, you know,
True.
everything is now, so it's harder to get stolen from, but it's still possible. But
It's harder and easier. Like
Yeah.
it's easier because like more eyes are getting onto your painting, so more people have the opportunity. But it's harder because there's also more people saying
Yeah.
that's Tyreq, bro.
You know what I
That's
mean?
Miles, bro.
Nah.
That's
It'll
my
come
g-
to light.
that's
Like
not,
you'll steal it for a
that's
little bit.
Picasso. What are you doing, bro?
Come
I
on
see what you're
now.
doing here, but type shit.
Let's
Nah,
not play
that's-
this game. Yeah.
that's-
I mean, 'cause it's gonna, like, the thing is, you might get a couple customers, sell some stuff, but then later down the road, everyone's gonna be like, bro,
Yeah.
we've all seen that.
Exactly. Like, you
We've
know,
seen
we've
that.
seen this before. We know what you're doing. We know
Stop.
what style you're jocking. Like, you know, because like you get it when you're on. You could, so like whenever you're doing something on a small scale just for your friends, like, you know, you may be able to rip something off tag if you could make an exact replica of it. Like, you know, some like
Right.
shoes, and it's just along you and your friend group. Like, you know what I mean? Some fake shoes. Like, y'all know it's fake, but it looks so damn real. Like, no one else knows it's fake, so y'all just gonna keep the fact in between y'all that it's real.
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
start branching out and making more and more fake shoes for people. Like, you know, eventually someone's gonna be like, wait, this ain't real. Like, I can tell this stuff is fake. Like, y'all been doing fake stuff this whole time. Like, you know,
Mm.
because you branched out too big. But if you kept it this small, like, you know,
Yeah.
can, but yeah,
Your fraud can only go so
can
far.
only go so far. You feel me? And that's why I feel like, am I gonna really go far right now? Because, you know, I feel like a fraud. Like,
Nah, you're good, man.
Yeah.
You
Lessons. So when you're working on a piece, do you ever have to like take a break and then come back on it? Like, are you like a one? Because I know some people have that struggle, and they're like, they feel like they're not good because they can't like finish it right. You know, you might have like a brain fart.
Well, it's both. So like, some days, like when I take my grandpa's one for instance, like it was the day after he passed, I was drunk, crying and stuff. Sketch it out, paint it all on the same day. You know, a lot of things I flip around within the same day. There's other ones like it's kind of like I want them to be a certain flavor, a certain feel. So unless I could tap into that, just walk away from it until I tap back into that flavor feel. Like, you know, I work on multiple other paintings, so I just don't have like that one. Like, I can't do nothing else. So this one's finished. Like, no, I just work on the other ones and push the other ones. You know what I mean? So I could just like, whenever they're done, they're all about done. But like, it's been days when I have been able to do like 4 fire ass paintings like 3 days. You know, go like 3 paintings in like 2 days. You know, and I could just knock them out because I'm just in that zone and I have that time. You know. But it's been days like I take y'all paint. Go ahead, grab your paint out there. Y'all paint, for instance, like, you know, literally, I have not spent a full day on that. This is what it looks like right now. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
Cartoon
But
vibe.
you feel me? Like you see, it's not done yet. But like I literally picked it up, did the background one day. You know, I was like, okay, I feel what I want for this background. You know, And then I waited a couple of days, took it to work with me, did y'all faces and everything, you know? And I couldn't have finished it that day had I been painting quicker. I was just like, I was enjoying it. But now, so like once I get the next day, the next time, I'm back in that zone. Like I should really be finished with it by this week. I may even be able to go home tonight if nothing, no one, but yeah, you feel me? But yeah, I may be able to just go home tonight, finish it out, and then like, hey y'all, like tomorrow, like y'all ready for this paint? Like you know what I mean? I'm gonna give it to y'all, and then whenever y'all drop the podcast, or it could be after y'all drop the podcast, a couple days after, just to bring the podcast back to relevancy. Like you know what I mean? We could drop it on some business strategical stuff. Like you know what I mean?
On some marketing
You
shit.
feel me?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
'cause I think like that.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
I do is like on some marketing shit. Like everything I do, like every little drop I make,
Every aspect of your life.
everything. Like at this point, like from the tweets that I'm tweeting out
Mm-hmm.
to everybody that, not people I interact with. People I interact with is people I like. Those my friends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just like the places I go, the stuff that the stuff of my life that I decide for y'all to see, and people I decide to post. Like you know what I mean? Like that's a decision that I'm willing to put them out there, because like everybody that's close to me and everything that's close to me, I kind of hold it dear to me. Like you know what I mean? I don't want you to know about me. I don't want you to know
Right.
my circle. I don't want you to know all this stuff. But if somebody's being made known and being made aware, it's because they have something that they're pushing, whether it is a clothing brand of their own, or whether
Right.
it is they're my social media person, so they can build out social medias for different people, and like they need to get on bigger stuff, or
Mhm.
whether they're like starting their own venture, like you know what I mean. So it's all like, okay, bet I'm gonna let y'all know that we're good, we're locked in, so y'all know that they're good. You feel me? 'Cause
Right.
if y'all like my quality and how I carry myself, it's all like the people who I decide to be with, like hop on, like for y'all podcast, for instance, like people who I decide to be seen with, it's all like they're good, just like me. They're pushing
Mhm.
just like me. So support them, just like you support me, and it's like a world building at that
Like
point.
an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like
Just like
Sure.
y'all all working together. See, and that's the thing though, especially whenever everyone's loving what they're doing.
yeah,
Want to see everyone
yeah,
like if y'all help each other, it's better, because then
Mhm.
it's like you seen this person, like I know they fuck with this person over here. I like their work too. Who else are they fucking with?
yeah,
And so like, oh, I've seen that they've been working with this person. Let me check this person out.
yeah.
Then you check that person, like another. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's just like
boom, 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 and
everybody's kind of just
and it's
working
like
together.
your influence and your growth, you will never die at all if you're doing that. If you're putting people on and you're making sure your people are putting people on, you're all growing. It's all like, because your influence never die. Because even if like it's like I'm up here and like it branches out 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, I'm still at the top of the pyramid. And they know this is Tyreek's pyramid. Like
Yeah.
you feel me? Like this is like his growth. This is his umbrella. Although they don't even talk about me, they may go years and forget that I even exist. You feel me?
That's that next level, like
Exactly. But
10-tier system.
whenever it's time for me to drop again, it's like he's back. It's him.
Right.
Boom. This is what we've been waiting on. Like you know what I mean? And that's what
Mhm.
I'm building up more than anything. It's that real, that hard, that stable base, and that's what y'all should be building up too. Cause all like this hustle right now, this you're pushing, like right now I'm pushing painting after painting after painting, going to
Mhm.
art shows, hosting classes, just being interviewed whenever I can. I'm about to build a TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff, just to build out more content and more places, get my name out more, you know what I mean? Put my art in different shops and everything. Like I could only go this hard for real in my youth, so I gotta make sure I'm making moves that will prevail me into
Into the next level before you
exactly.
can't, because you're saying you can't do all this running around for like way too long. So you
Can't.
want to be able to elevate over that running around level, have somebody else necessarily that you delegate to, so that you can enjoy your life.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, like a predecessor almost, or like someone to help you take care. Cause yeah, you can't be doing this ground level shit forever. You know what I'm saying?
Can't.
You gotta
Shouldn't
get that
have
out of
to.
the way, and then start your shit. But
Yeah, but not me. You made a good point though. It's like you're about the like everything that you do is marketing necessarily. It's like your online presence has like a life of its own necessarily, and you do want to keep like your own privacy away from that in your own ways, and that's up to you for how like deep you go into that, because I mean there's people that are doing like vlogs of their entire life, like wake up to good night, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck no, I can't do that, man. I need some time away from the camera. I need some time away for myself, with my family. I don't want you guys knowing where I live. Like, let's just be real with ourselves. You guys are wild, but it's true though. Like everything that you do these days should have a purpose. You know what I mean? Should be to elevate yourself, if not your business or your artwork or whatever you're doing. Should be to elevate yourself to the next level, so that you don't have to continue doing this grunt work your entire life.
Yeah, you feel me? But when you know the groundwork, and you know how to teach it back, and people could do what they want you to do, like how y'all was talking about, you know, with the videos and editing and the podcast. So y'all doing the groundwork right now, you know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all don't want to do this forever, but y'all gotta make sure it's stable. Y'all doing it right, so y'all can prevail over. So I just have somebody else do the groundwork for y'all. Y'all have different people specialize in different places, man.
I just can do it even when you don't want to. Continue to do it whenever like you're tired or exhausted, like you've been doing today. You gotta continue to do it, and you know, because you know what's next. And the back door off of like what both of y'all were saying, like marketing yourself. It's weird because it's, you know, you might be good at something, but like how you hold yourself and then how you go about in the world. Like networking in itself is just like who you are, makes a big difference. That market, like every day thinking about, you don't have to be thinking about your next step necessarily, like to the T, but like you have to know like this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I can do, this is what's going on in the world and how I fit in. Every day you got to be going. Yeah. Because if not, then you'll be behind. You got to be a step ahead. You don't want to be the step behind.
Right.
You got to know where you're going, what you're doing now.
What's that saying about like the three masks? It's like how people see you, how you see yourself, and who you really are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you have to kind of be in touch with all three to understand where your place is, and a lot of people have trouble getting in touch with those, I feel like.
That's like knowing who
they really are.
Oh, and like trying to figure.
They get too caught up with how other people see them and then how they see themselves. They never actually figure out who they really are.
Yeah.
Kind of goes back to what you were saying. I think earlier too was like when you started painting, it kind of brought it forward. You I'm comfortable with myself now. Like I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm doing. Because it's like you had that marketing side, you had that like idea of like what like you're doing, and like what you're capable of. But that art creativity side was like, okay, I'm capable of more. Like you really got in touch with a piece of you that's like, okay, now this is what I'm really capable of, and this is what I can do. Watch out, world, here I come. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're fucking.
Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with some grease.
You know what I'm saying?
Before, like I might have been popping all these other years. You know what I mean? But I have never tapped into who I really was, who I really am. So it's all like, it's crazy how I was susceptible to more so how people viewed me, and what I was good at, and what people wish that they were good at. It allowed me to do a lot of things a lot longer than I should have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of things. Like had I not been an athlete, like, you know, my dad put me into sports because like I was fighting in school because people was messing with me. Like, you know, somebody messing with you, I'm gonna fight back. But it's like you can't be fighting back. You need something to channel your anger and stuff. And he put me in sports. Unfortunately for me, I was good at them. Like, you know what I mean?
You said the scouts just kept coming. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. It's like I like winning. I like doing good. So like, of course I was liking sports, although like I wasn't really liking them. I just like winning. I like feeling good.
You
know
liked
what I mean? The thrill.
The what's it called? The reward of like what you were doing with like winning the race or getting the praise from like your dad or the scouts, or like even to like maybe even say, hey, we're looking at you for a scholarship. You know what I mean?
All that.
It's like I like that, but I don't necessarily like the sport itself.
No, I wasn't messing with like even with track. Like although like I did go place, you know, I do have like there's a love for track because it really it somewhat gave me a second chance, you know, from where I was going to where I am now. You feel me? Like it really just flipped my whole life around, you know? But even with track, I hate this. But it's a hustle. I got to do it. I got to make it out of here. You know what I mean? Because growing up down here in like G County, Dickinson, so like a lot of us just think all we have is sports, or maybe we could rap, maybe we could sell drugs. You know what I mean?
It's like that's the three options that people like to give themselves.
Exactly.
Not many options. Yeah, it doesn't seem. There are options, but it's easy to feel like there's not a lot of options when you're like in a small town.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very fucked up, man. And that's the problem right there. And so like when I got to college, it was so weird. It was so weird because I was all like, what now? You know? Because I was just like, in a lot of them, you could tell a lot of the athletes had this same question. So they was just told, go to college, try to be D1, you know? So the ones that made D1 are the ones that just made off the college, you know, it came right back because it was that, like, you know, what do we do? Like, we're young. Our life cap was set at a young age. They were only preparing us to be 20. No one was telling us about 25, 30,
Fuck
35, 40. Although they said, have you a 15-year plan? Have you a 10-year plan? What do you want to be in 5 years? You know? They'll tell us that BS. You feel me?
Real shit.
Mm-mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Any. Yeah, you feel me? Like, and that's how it was, man. It was hard, but like, although like adjusting was easy, because I had my teammates and whatnot, but I was still like young. I was a part of that new freshman class where we were cleaning up everything and stuff that made the captain of the cross country team. Like, it's different. Like, you know, I went from being just a face of just a high school, you know, maybe like, you know, a little bit known in the city,
He said,
like you know what I mean, to a face of a whole Division I university, what that Steve McNair went to. Like, you know, it's like it's like a whole bigger tie. Like, it's a whole. I'm in a bigger realm, bigger platform, and then to turn into like, okay, how do I find myself out here? How do I survive in this environment? Because I survived in that environment, but how do I adapt and survive in this environment? And that's like high school and college shows you who you are. Like high school, you find out where you stand on the food chain. College shows you who you are. You know what I mean? And how does that transfer over? And so by the time you get into real life, if you were able to adapt and survive in the high school environment, in the college environment, once you get out there into real life, you know, okay, work. What work has to what work has to be put in? What work do I want to put in? What do I need? What do I do? You could block out everything from there. You know what I mean? But if you, since we're not prepared, you know, a lot of kids go up there, they're all like, they get hurt one time. They have a bad semester. They finally away from home, they party. You know what I mean? Or they just, like, you know, this one little bump sends them back. With me, it was all like, my second semester was terrible. I got hurt my first semester. Like, I was going through hamstring injuries. You know what I mean? I was battling with classes, like, you know, losing people, not being able to go to their funerals because I had a track meet. Like, you feel me? Or being at a track meet and finding out that somebody passed. Like, you know, it was this stuff like that I had to go through by myself and build by myself. And it's all like, a lot of my other peers, they went through similar stuff, but they didn't make it out like I did. Like, you know? So I'm realizing how different I am and stuff like that. And the fact that I did all that and made it through all that, and I haven't even gotten into who I really am and what I really offer, shows a lot to, because it's all like, I could do what you want me to do way better. You feel me? Right. But what I have to offer, way better than all this, you know? And
Strength like that you have necessarily, because I mean, like you said, like if it takes a lot to go kill me from my path, or I could forward path for yourself. Really clear to see. Not a lot of
yeah, man, that stuff.
You had to pound through that. You had to like. That's like you're fucking day after day, day in, day out. Like after that, then you come out. You're like, okay, now. But like you were saying, like now you're like, I know what I'm capable of. I went through a lot, but like that's just the, that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Like that's like now that I went through that, that's just like fucking ground level, like what I'm capable of offering. Now that I know what I'm able to offer, is like,
Yeah.
look out. You know
Look
what I'm
out,
saying?
you feel
Got
me?
that whole fucking.
You have a degree.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's another thing with the degree. So a lot of kids, reason why college is a scam and why people believe it is because literally every major just about, we can break it down to like a metaphorical thing. They teach you how to build that computer from scratch. You know how to build that entire computer from scratch. You know, from when it comes to like making the software, all that. You know how to do it all, programming, all that. To when you graduate, you got a certification to know how to, you know, build out computers. From there, with your certification, instead of you like, all right, I'm gonna build my own computers. I'm gonna do it myself. You become an employee for somebody else. They either just program the computer, or just put the keyboard in, or just order the stuff for the computer. You know what I mean? Or just fix the screens. You feel me? You do
Probably a
something
lot of
so minute. You don't take what you were really taught and the skills that you were taught in and outside the classroom and decide to say, I know the hustle that goes behind building computers. So I build it myself. Like, you know what I mean? People don't think like that. See, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Like I said, I know how to build a business, start a business, run the business financials. You start one myself. What the hell do I want to do? You know? Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, man. Right now, right now. Yeah. 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 Like, exactly, you can.
That degree because I have the availability to have financial stability outside of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the availability to do this too.
Come on.
So why not?
Why not? Why
Why
not?
why would I limit myself into going to do something I know I don't want to do for the simple purpose of money?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
That means like you have a price at this point, and then
Right.
at that point, like you're putting yourself at a slave auction. You know what I mean? Like
That's exactly what
you're a slave.
you don't
feel
want.
me?
Nobody wants to call it that because they're telling you that they're looking out for you or that they know what's best for you. But that's exactly what it
I
is.
did.
You're putting a price
I
on your
did
head.
sales. Ever since I done sales for one summer, it was for one of them Devil Corps. They teach you in and out about
Devil
sales.
Corpse.
Yeah, you know about the Devil Corps. You
The
feel me?
Devil Corporation.
Looking up Devil Corp sales, and you get whole articles about like how they break down sales, about how they break you down mentally, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible, yeah.
The tactics that they use is used in marketing. It's used in everyday life, everything. So it's all like whenever, like I said, they break you down. And they say you need us. We're looking out for you. You feel me? That's the same thing they do in the sales. You know what I mean? Same thing they do at that little level. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same exact thing. Like they will legitly like you'll be out all day long, probably like in the field, talking to people cold calls, cold, you know what I mean? Just
horrible. I've done
horrible,
it too.
horrible. You feel me? And then like you get tired, like, man, I don't know, this stuff wasn't working. This is what I was doing. This is why. It's like, well, try this, do that. do this, do that, and then you do it the next day and it works. And so then from that point, it's all like every time you don't listen to them, you kind of just fall off. So then now you start relying on them. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they know what's best, and then they always like, I am looking out for you. Da, 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 da. And so you start building that trust with them, and then you just get sucked into that.
You're
life.
literally tying the string to your back so they can be the puppet master for you.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Sales jobs too. You're putting in hella hours for like a couple sales for commission. It's like the commission's not even worth the amount of time and like
Even
effort
if
you're
it
putting
is,
in.
it's like you said. Even if the commission's way more than worth the amount of time, you're still putting a price on your head and saying, "That's all you got to do. You got to pay me this number, and I'll do whatever the fuck you want."
That's basically at the slave auction. It's like, you'll pay me this much, whatever you say.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
That is terrible.
But it's interesting though, because I mean, it just goes to show like that people will try to manipulate other people no matter what, and you just have to try to be better than that, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's just weird. Like when you try to do something that's your own way or your own style, that's when a lot of people start to be like, well, you should be doing this, or why aren't you doing this, or like this will make you this much. It's like, yeah, but that's just what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Like, who am I if I'm doing what you want me to do, or I'm doing what they want me to do? Am I really my own person now, or like, it's like
been ripped of your individuality, man.
Yeah.
You gotta take a step back. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I like to do, and I know what I'm capable of. Like, no one knows what you've been through. No one knows what your story is. No one knows what you're capable of doing. So it's like, you're the only one that ever is gonna know.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, it's all bigger than like you at that point, because no one's gonna really understand.
Yeah.
But you gotta do it. You gotta do what you want to do. Because if you don't, then like who's gonna do it for you?
No one. No one is, bro. No one.
To live is to risk it all.
Come on, risk it all, man. Be risky, man. You have to, man. That's what the art thing is. Putting it all out there, man. I'm just being risky. That's it. Just living, bro.
That's good, man, and I'm glad to freaking see it, and I'm glad to have you here, man. Fucking, it's been very enjoyable talking to you.
Yes.
Great time. We thank you for.
How long has it been? Like
where are we at on the time, Daniel?
It's been like an hour.
We're at an hour.
Yeah,
Hell yeah! I was like, damn, we're
a little over an hour.
A
little over an hour, man. You get caught up in it. You're like, damn, you're like an hour already.
Yeah, the sun's down. What?
No, man. Nah, it's a good time though.
Hell yeah!
Especially when you're talking about things you enjoy, rather than having to talk about like the same old bullshit all the time.
He was telling me before we started recording. He was like, I've been on like interviews, talked about track before. It's kind of cool. It was like mundane questions and shit like that. But like, no, I mean, what we want to do here is promote you, promote us, promote everything, because we got big things coming, man. Picasso's gonna have a big 2021, and fucking Fine and Dandy's going places, my friends.
Wait, what was the art gallery that you're gonna be at? Where was it at?
Museum, right?
Well,
that's
what I'm pushing right now. I'm still building that up. Picasso Museum is really gonna come into full effect later on down the road. But I'm planting the seeds, you know.
Okay, bet.
Starting now, I got you.
My little art gallery right now that I have is down in Soda Soul Restaurant in Galveston, Texas. It's gonna be up there until April 24th. So
you guys got 3 weeks.
Yeah,
about
3 weeks. Go check it out, man. Y'all definitely gotta check out my man. Remember, that's Picasso. Is it _after or before or both?
After, so it's at Blacasso _.
Yes, sir.
_ on that.
Go check my homie.
Don't forget, also check us out on TikTok. We're gonna have a couple clips. We'll probably have one of Blacasso here, Mr. Tyreq Miles. We're gonna have a quick one.
TikTok, I'm on there.
Yes,
we're gonna do a quick little piece. It'll be quick though. Just a little. It's not nothing crazy though. Not gonna be nothing crazy, but
little sneak peeks.
We gonna get risky now. Come on now.
Risky.
That's gonna be at @RadDudeDandy on the TikTok, also on Twitter. Give Josh a follow.
At Josh _M7. You guys, thank you and goodbye.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta ask before we sign off. All right. Is there anything you want to tell the people who want to do what they want to do? Any new painters? Anybody getting into like art? There's one thing you would tell them, like a piece of advice. What would it be?
Do it.
Do it?
Do that shit, man.
Nike.
Do it. This, like, whatever you think is right, it is right. And after you do it, you could decide if you want to push it out or not. But whatever you feel like in your gut, if something in your gut is telling you to do something, do it. Don't you listen to nobody else. Say that you can't. Because I promise you, if they say it, you can't, they're just trying to put their own limitations on you. And don't ever let anybody put their own limitations on you. You feel me? You can do whatever you want. Do that shit.
You can fly.
Come on, man.
All right, wait, I got one more question. That was a serious question. Now, if you could fly anywhere in the world right now, like you have a plane ticket, like where would it be? What's the first place you're traveling to?
Oh shit.
He said, "I don't fucking know."
I don't know. Where would I go right now? Like, if I could just go anywhere in the world. Well, okay. I feel like it's in between South Africa and Dubai.
Okay.
Because just the freedom of the infrastructure out there and how the buildings and like how everything is on just a creative level, I feel as though something's gonna be opened up here. You feel me?
Okay, I feel that.
So, yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Take it. This is a great answer. All right, thank you for coming on, Tyreq. It's been a great time, man. Great conversation. I like time flew by when we.
It's very fine and dandy.
Ah,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you guys for joining us, and you all have a great week.
Take care.